All right, well, welcome guys. I am going to make a video and try to dig up as much information as I can on my finds. What I got here is everything. This is everything that I've found this year. Nothing on this table should be from earlier dates. This is, don't mind all the mess, but this is all the stuff that I've already had. Some of the stuff in here might be from this year, but I can't remember, so I took out what I do know was from this year. But all I wanted to do today is share what I found so far and try to give you as much information. Maybe there'll be some information you didn't know. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot at the same time. But it's raining outside, and I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. So hopefully you guys can enjoy. I might have to get more lighting. But, so on that note, this is what we got going on. This is all the stuff that I found. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in sections. I'm going to start with the bells and then work my way across. And I'm not going to be able to get information on everything here. If I don't have a date and stuff like that, then I can only speculate. But I'm going to do my best. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I'll see you in a minute, and we'll start with the bells. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So this year I've found 5 Conestoga bells. That one's a bigger one. Unfortunately, it's missing a piece of the back. I have found more in the past. Years of metal detecting. A little information is... I guess these were used on a Conestoga wagon, and the horses at the front would have 5 bells. The middle horses wore 4, and the horses next to the wagon usually had 3. And the Conestoga bells were used sort of like the horn on a car today. They were used during the 18th and 19th century. And it says that the Conestoga wagon itself was named for where it was created near the Conestoga River in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. So that's some pretty neat information there. And then it says Conestoga bells were welded or braised iron, while others were braised bronze or brass, cast brass, and turned brass. So there's a bunch of different types. But that is the Conestoga bells that I have found this year. And a little information on them. And next we'll move on to the Croto bells. Okie dokie. Now we have these Croto bells that I found. They got wicked nice designs in them. Some of them are more of a rumble bell, like these ones. This is a Croto bell, and this is considered a Croto bell, but they also call them rumble bells. So this is a rumble bell, and these are Croto bells, because they have the designs, and some of them still have the dingers. A little information I got on them for you is Croto bells, also known as rumble bells, were used on horse-drawn vehicles before motor vehicles were common. They were often made of bronze with a slot cut down the side. These bells were used to warn other users of horse-drawn vehicles, mostly on country roads. The other vehicle, okay, so it was warning them that another one was approaching. They hung on the small leather and iron harness bracket above the horse's collar. On larger vehicles, such as delivery vehicles, they were driven into the wooden frame of the wagon. So that's pretty neat. And I found 5 of these so far this year. They have different numbers, if you can make it out. It's like this one right here says number 0. Pretty awesome though. And you find these randomly. These ones are harder to find, I think, than these ones, in my opinion. But yeah, I have found 5 of those this year. All right, and then we got 2 of these. I believe they call them desk bells. Them are pretty neat. And that's the bells that I've found so far. Hunting streams, fields, and grassy areas and stuff. But a lot of these I found in the stream, and these I found in dump sites, and the little one was in a cornfield on a group hunt. All right, well, we'll move on to the next piece. All right, next up on my little video here, I found this when I was down by the ocean. It says May 2nd, 2020, Bridge the Gap, 10 miler and 3 miler. And so the information that I have on that is, it's Bridge the Gap offers runners a choice of a 10-mile race or a 3-mile race. It starts at Fort Knox and Prospect and immediately crossing the stunning Penobscot Narrows Bridge, which features the tallest public bridge observatory in the world. The 10-miler tours Verona Island from the west to the east, with the 3-miler cuts across Verona Island and follows a scenic waterfront walkway. Both races finish on Main Street in the heart of downtown Bucksport. So that was somebody's medal, and I found it laying right on the shore. Honestly, we thought it was a chew can lid, but I picked it up, and sure enough, that's what it was. So it's pretty cool to have in my collection. And then I was up on a hunt with mainly dirt fishing up at the Springfield Fairgrounds, and I found the Sumo Dudes. It's just sort of like a little collector thing. Maybe it had something to do with some games or something, but that was pretty neat. All right, so we're off to the next thing. Okay, folks, now we are on to some of the horse rosettes that I found. You can see I don't like to clean my finds that much. I guess I could have cleaned that a little better, but I didn't. We got that one. This one still has the shank. Pretty heavy. There's no design on it. Found this one at the Plymouth store. We got this one. It's pretty rotten. And I believe this was one, but just a thin one. So some of the information about them that I found, most times they were used to identify military war horses, as an adornment for a funeral or wedding, and a means of advertisement for fraternal organizations. Basically, they were like the bumper stickers on your car. And in the UK, they have different colors mean different things and stuff like that. But I won't get into that too much because these are obviously probably not from the UK, or maybe they were shipped over. I don't know, but I found them just right around the area here: Plymouth, Etna, Stetson, Detroit. Pretty cool. Says, in ancient and medieval times, bridle rosettes were made of metals such as iron, bronze, and copper. As industrialized manufacturing flourished in the 1800s, bridle rosettes were created with glass domes enclosing hand-printed artwork, die cuts, pictures, and photographs. Pictures and photographs. Pretty cool. Yeah. Sweet. And now we'll move on to the next thing. A lot of treasure, folks. A lot of treasure. And this is all from just stuff I found this year. All right. Well, next up on the list here is these are like key fobs or whatever. This one is Strickland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas. I found this in Plymouth, Maine. It might have been silver plated at one time, but it's in pretty rough shape. And then this one, all it says on it is patent pending at the bottom. I've tried looking it up. I haven't found anything about it, but they're super cool. I found this one at a dump site in, I believe it was Newburgh. Them are pretty awesome. And then we'll move on to some buttons. All right, folks, this is an interesting one. This right here, if I get the camera to zoom right. All right, this right here I thought was a Navy button because of the anchor. I mean, I'm not a professional with these buttons, but I've looked it up. And this is actually a Marine button. And the stars, the 13 stars, represent the original 13 colonies. They started making them in 1804, but these buttons range from 1806 to 1850. So that's great. I mean, I didn't even know that myself. I just looked it up. I'll definitely include better pictures so you can see what they look like all cleaned up. But that's pretty amazing. And I'm going to go through the buttons one at a time for you that I found this year. But yeah, that is a Marine button. United States Marine Corps. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. All right, next up is these Great Seal buttons that I found. Found some up with mainly dirt fishing. I think it was this one. And then these two I found in Pittsfield in the river. They're not in very good shape. I got a little information. And if anybody has any better information, feel free to tell me in the comments. So with these Great Seal buttons, says the design was known as a Great Seal motif. Was introduced to the U.S. Army buttons in 1911 and discontinued in 1920. There was a 10-year span that they were around, and they were around during the First World War. They would have been part of the standard U.S. Army field uniform with 5 removable Great Seal buttons on the front and smaller buttons on the shoulder. Yeah. So, take a picture. So yeah, those, I mean, are pretty cool. And I found more last year, year before, stuff like that. But these are what I found this year. So that's pretty cool. I'll try to include a picture so you guys can see what they look like nice and clean for the ones that have not ever found one. This one was probably, you know, on a coat or something like that, you know, 2 little buttons in it. Pretty neat. And this one's worn right out. But awesome. All right, so now we're going to move on to some other buttons that I found. All right, next up, you can't really see it. It's pretty warm, but it says Metropolitan Police. It would have had like a bird and stuff. I got a picture of one that's sort of like it that I'm going to post here for you. Probably right here somewhere. But yeah, I found that over in Pittsfield, Maine in the button stream. All right, so we're going to move on. All right, folks, next up we got a Napoleon Emperor button I found up in Lee, Springfield area with mainly dart fishing. Silver plated, vintage. I don't know the exact date. I tried looking it up, but yeah. But that's pretty cool. You guys are having a hard time seeing it. I'll definitely post a picture so you can see what it looks like. And then we got a whole bunch of other buttons. This is actually a badge. I believe it was a pilot's badge. It's got numbers in it. It says New York. Licensed. It's missing a bunch over there. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Then we got just some cufflink buttons. This is a pretty neat one, which we'll do last. But that one's pretty rough. Got like it's like a cover to a button here. It's got some writing on it, so we'll go over that here in a minute. Just a normal old everyday button. And this one is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it. It has some flowers on it. Then this one, which is pretty neat. So we'll go on to these ones, but let me try to get some info for them and we'll return. All right, so I tried to look these up again just to see if I get anything off of them, and they are so far roached. I mean, there's a little bit of writing, but you just can't make it out. This one right here, me and my mother are looking at it again, and we don't think it was a button. We think it might have been a grommet of some sort, or rather, it says Thompson's and then it says Belfast, Maine at the bottom, which is cool. And then this one had writing on it one time, but like I said, it's missing the back and pretty much toasted. But these are all, that's a badge. These were all the buttons that I found this year. Pretty awesome. Quite a little selection there. And now we're going to move on. All right, next up on the list is this little USA, oops, upside down, kid ring. And I found this in Plymouth. It used to be colored. There used to be some color in the shield, but that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it says Sterling inside, and I'll get some pictures of that. Well, you can actually kind of see it in there. It says Sterling. Then I found this one down to the rope swing in Plymouth. Had a scorpion on it. I think it's a toe ring, and it said Sterling on it. Somewhere right on the edge, up the top. Yeah, right up in there. It says 92. Well, I didn't say Sterling. It said 925. And then I found this little silver ring in Plymouth. Which that one's a sterling silver too. And then I found this, which is just a fake coin machine ring. But those are the rings that I found. I might have found some other ones, but I don't remember, because I found so much stuff. But I just wanted to show everyone, and I'll take pictures, closer up pictures, and post them for you. Pretty cool. All right. So next up is a Great Britain 1 penny, and it's got, I guess it's a face, a portrait of Edward the 7th. Yeah, it's made out of bronze. They were circulated from 1902 to 1910, so this is the first year they were going around. The obverse features a bare head portrait of King Edward the 7th, and the back features a design of a seated Britannia as modeled by Charles Walter Combs. So you can see the face on the front, and then there's the back. And I found this in Plymouth. Pretty cool find. And I found a lot of coins this year, so we're gonna go through them. All right, these are some featured crispy coins that I can't make out. They're old coins, I know that. This one's got a little bit of writing right there. You can almost see, which side was it? Right here, you can almost make out, there's a head facing that way, I believe. Yeah, these ones are just so crunchy and crispy that I haven't really been able to make them out. And this, I believe, is a coin. I'm not sure. Pretty crunchy. So cool. They remember my crunchy coins. All right, then we got this one. It's hard to make out. I can make out the crown and the face, some of the writing right here. I believe it's a King George V. Most likely from Canada, because I'm pretty near Canada, and most of them were around 1925 or so. You can almost make out something on the back. It says 1 penny, I believe. Yeah, most of the coins and stuff I find are crunchy, so it's hard to make them out. But all right, now we're going to move on to some coins that I can get you some information on. But I have found a bunch, so let's go. All right, folks, next up on the list is 2 Standing Liberty quarters that I found in Plymouth, Maine. This one is 1917, and this one over here is 1920. And those are the first ones I ever found. And a little bit of information I got for you says, the Standing Liberty quarter is a 25-cent coin that was struck by the United States Mint from 1916 to 1930. It succeeded the Barber quarter, which had been minted since 1892. Ooh, so I don't know why it's so dark. Oh, it's just my camera. But yeah, those are 2 of those that I found this year. 1917 and this one's 1920 and that was 1917. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. Let's see if I can pick both of them up. Awesome. And like I said, I'll try to get a beautiful picture of one so you can see what they'd look like if they weren't metal detected. All right, now we're going to move on. I got a lot of stuff to go through. All right, next up is the 1941 Walking Liberty $50. This thing is in really good condition. It's dirty, but that's like the tarnish because it's silver. But it has lots of detail. I mean, you can still see all the branches and stuff. I will definitely post a good picture of it, the undug version or whatever. But yeah, it's got a reeded edge. Pretty awesome find. I found that up in Hancock with Ezra. It was right on the shore. The ocean had torn all the trees and rock and everything up from the shoreline, and then sure enough, I found that. That's an amazing find. It's the second $50 I've ever found. All right, so The Walking Liberty half dollar is a silver 50-cent piece or half-dollar coin that was issued by the United States Mint from 1916 to 1947. It was designed by Adolph A. Weinman, a well-known sculptor and engraver. Like I said, it's reeded. The DS located for 1916 and some 1917 pieces on the verse to the right side of the Liberty, just under the letters TR and God We Trust. Later issues were on the reverse at the lower left under the Philadelphia Mint specimens lack mark. So awesome. That's my Walking Liberty half dollar that I found with Ezra. Made my day. Made my day. All right, so we're gonna move on. All right, next up is this Indian head penny. It's 1906. The back's still dirty, but the information I got on it, the Indian head cent, also known as the Indian head penny, was a 1-cent coin produced by the United States Bureau of the Mint from 1859 to 1909. It was designed by James Burton Longacre, the chief engraver at the Philadelphia Mint. From 1793 to 1857, the cent was a copper coin about the size of a half dollar. So that's pretty cool information for you. And like I said, I'm just going through this stuff that I found this year. And that was I found with mainly dirt fishing at the Springfield Fairgrounds. All right, on to the next one. All right, so next up is a seated dime. It's an 1874. I found this up to Brown Mills Park with D.F. Digger, Richie and Kelly, Seth, Dustin was there, and Ezra. It was a pretty fun day. I found one of the Crota bells there too that day. Some information on it. The seated Liberty dime was produced by the U.S. Mint for over half a century. These dimes are produced at several of the Mint's branches, including Philadelphia, San Francisco, New Orleans, Carson City. The coin's obverse features the image of the Liberty seated on a rock. 1837 to 1891. And this one is an 1874. Super cool. All right, next up is this wonderful half-penny token, Canadian token. It had a ship on the front. Pretty cool. They were issued from 1811 to 1813. So that's pretty old. That's why it's so destroyed. But I was able to make out what it is. I can't make out the exact date. I don't even think they put it on it. Maybe they did. But I do know it says half-penny token. And I found the pictures of it, and I will post them right in this video. It's hard to see, and I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. You can see it right there. It says half-penny token. Cool. All right, this is a pretty awesome one. This is an 1864 2-cent piece. So 1864 was the first year minted. Information I got on it, which I'm going to read to you. With the passage of the Coinage Act of 1864, the United States Congress authorized the design and production of a brand new denomination, the short-lived 2-cent piece, as a part of the government's experimentation with odd denominations, including the 3-cent nickel, a silver trime, a 20-cent piece, and the $4 Stella gold coin. The 2-cent piece never really gained traction. with the public. The unpopular series ran for only 9 years, from 1864 until 1873. The first coins struck were on April 22nd of 1864. So this is the first year that they struck these coins. This is an 1864 2-cent piece, as you can see it right there. Pretty awesome. This was found in Plymouth, Maine. Pretty amazing. And I get to have one for my collection. Awesome. All right, and then we have another Indian head here. This is a 1908. You can see the reef. All right, next up is this crusty mercury dime I found down by the ocean. It's a 1941. According to this, there was only 16,557 of these minted in Philadelphia. 90% silver, 10% copper. So that's pretty cool. And I'll add a picture for you. And just remember, all these pictures that I'm putting are just so you can see what it would look like. It's not the picture of the actual coin, obviously. Cool. All right, next up is just 2 silver dimes. They were minted from 1950 to 1964. And then you have any of them that were minted prior to 1965 were 90% silver. So there's 2 of them that I found this year. And then we got ourselves a crusty old buffalo nickel. Pretty cool. See the Indian head. Excuse me. All right, now we're gonna charge up the camera and I'll be back with just some interesting finds. All right, next up is buckles. These are all buckles I found. This is a suspender clip here. This one says patent March 7th of 71 and November of 3rd of 74. So it's 1800s, obviously. But November 3rd is my birthday, so that was a cool find. And them are my buckles. And now we have pewter. This is a pewter teapot stem. And this was like a toothpick holder or a salt shaker or something along them lines. It's got some nice fancy designs in it. This was a lid to something that's made out of pewter. This right here, I don't know what it was, but it says patent June 22nd, 1869 in it. And then we had this little pewter tray or something that had flowers around the outside edge and some buildings. Super cool. I'm going to just slide that off to the edge here. Then we have this little tray that has a flower in it of some sorts, a lotus or something. It does say China on the back, but it's still pretty cool. I found this in Plymouth. I haven't made out what it is. If anybody has any ideas on what it is or the design, it'd be pretty cool, but it's got like a person holding a jug or something above their head. Pretty awesome. Then we got this sash buckle. Then another type of buckle here. Then we got some brooches, pin back. I found this in Plymouth. It says Rob on it. It's either Rob or Bob, one or the other. This little thing, it says 1940 on it. I never really figured out what it is. If anybody has any idea, please let me know. Then we got these I found in Corinna. We got this little pin here, probably some sort of military. Looks like it was silver plated. A little prayer token. Our key fob has a daily prayer on it. This was a Colonel's badge or whatnot, silver. Got a pocket watch that I found. And this is all stuff that I can't get no dates off or anything, but pretty cool stuff. A couple more brooches. This right here I found down by the ocean. Pretty neat. Little horseshoe I found in Plymouth. This is a police badge or a little kid's school badge or whatever. And there or whatnot. Found this heart. It said Gladys and Scott on it. And this right here I found up with Mainly Dart Fishing. One of his permissions. Then another little mosaic type thing. This is 10 karat gold filled watch band. Then I got my little silver plated shovel with a flower on it. This little thing here, I've never been able to make out what was on it. I believe it did, yeah, it did say Maine on it across the top. We got a 1800s gun plate, butt plate. You can almost make a, it says 1880 or something right there. And then all your silver spoons, silver plated spoons, and this couple of them that are super cool with designs. That's probably the best one I've ever found right there. Pretty amazing stuff. So that's all those. Darfur marbles. That's all from this year. My pipe stems. This was a curtain holder or whatever. Wind-up key. I've never figured out what that is. Over here we got, this was a lock for a book. This is just a little plate. A My Doll cover. Computer. Salt and shaker cover. That thing. Some keys. I got more keys outside. A hook. My toy guns. And some compacts. And the Samuel Bernstein Hair Co. Incorporated plate. And then a bunch of the bottles. It's a lot of stuff, folks. And I haven't been able to show you all at once. And I hope you appreciate this video. I hope you enjoyed. I tried my best to get you some information on most of the better stuff. Let's keep on treasure hunting. Let's keep enjoying it. I appreciate everybody. Keep on naturing. We'll see you next time. Hopefully I can find some more treasure this year. We'll see ya. Peace.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.